Good evening, everyone. This evening we are going to talk about a biological subject concerning our own biology, concerning to the biology of every 8 billion terrestrial living on this terrestrial. This subject actually concerns every single person on this planet, whether man or woman, child, whatever the age, whatever the gender, it doesn't matter. Name of the title is Biological Clock or Circadian Clock. This understanding is given to us by Dr. Dimmorain in 1900. Dimmorain. What is biological clock? In a nutshell, biological clock means every single thing we do. We go to bed, we get up in the morning, our appetite, our metabolic process, of menstrual cycle of the female, and growing hair on the face of the first time on the male, puberty, the girl becomes youthful, the girl becomes, we can say that she is now marriageable. Every single thing happens by the circadian clock or biological clock. We cannot change it. Our schedule is always fixed. We get up early in the morning, and whatever we do in the morning, we do every day. That is biological clock. Time of the meal, we become hungry. When that particular time comes, we become hungry. That is biological clock. And when that time passes, we are not hungry anymore. Time to sleep. If you sleep at 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock you will be drowsing. 10 o'clock you are sleepy. But for some reason you don't go to bed at 10, but try to go to bed at 11 o'clock. You are going to find out that you have trouble falling asleep. Food. You eat your lunch, say for example, 1 o'clock. You don't eat one day, 2 o'clock, 2:30, you try to sit down and you have no appetite. Every single thing. Child is born at 9 months. Lactation starts as soon as the child is born. Lactation stops at the end of year and a half, when child is now eating some solid food, child's walking, child's crawling, child's talking. Every single thing is biological. Nothing actually is out of biological clock. For example, our appetite. We get appetite at a particular time, and if that particular time we don't eat, our appetite is killed. Sleep schedule, same time. If you don't sleep at the same time, after that you have trouble falling asleep. Our heart rhythm. Heart rhythm is actually biological clock. It doesn't miss even a one beat. Hormonal secretion. All the hormones are secreted in our body according to biological or circadian clock. End of hormone. When the hormonal secretion ends, and woman is now called menopausal and male is called andropausal, at that time their hormones, sexual hormones are all dried up. Woman doesn't actually produce progesterone, and a male doesn't produce testosterone. That also is the circadian clock or biological clock. Menopause. Menopause, every woman starts menstruating around 11 or 12 and ends at 39 to 40. That is 29 days and 29 years. It's controlled by circadian clock. Andropause. Male goes into andropause, same time, 45 to 50 years, and all his libido is gone. Puberty. Girl becomes young, marriageable. Now all kinds of features will be seen that she is a girl. That is also biological. Facial hair in the male. When the male boy is about 15 years old, he will have facial hair. Metabolism. Our metabolism. After every 2 hours, exactly 2 hours after the meal, our meal is already digested, and this 2 hours means 2 hours, not hour and a half, not 2 hours and a half. Catabolism. If we eat at a different time, different quality and different quantity of food, without having any kind of discipline in eating, then this biological clock is going to turn our metabolism into catabolism. Our health. If we are healthy, is also circadian clock, and if we are sick all the time, circadian clock again. Our rising schedule. Every day when you get up at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock you are up, no matter what, whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Sunday. Some people get up very early in the morning, like me, probably 6 o'clock in the morning, and now it's a Sunday today, so I would think that I'm going to get up a little late. But no matter what you try, no, not possible. You are definitely going to get up at 6 o'clock because your biological clock is going to wake you up. Lactation. A woman gives birth, one day before the birth or 1 hour before the birth, there will be no lactose, there will be no milk in her breast. As soon as the child is born, lactation starts. Who controls it? Yes, God controls it through the biological clock. Childbirth. Childbirth is absolutely, positively, precisely decided that 34 to 35 weeks, no longer than that, not 1 week before, no 1 week later. Menstrual cycle, as we discussed. Midlife crisis. Midlife crisis also starts around 40 to 45 years in female and 50 to 55 years in male. So every single thing that we are because of the biological clock. Our good habits, our good features, our health, every single thing that we do according to the biological clock. And if we follow the biological clock, we are a very happy person, we are a healthy person, and we are never going to fall sick. But those people who disturb the biological clock, one day they eat breakfast at 7:30, next day 8:30, and one day 9 o'clock, and sometimes 6 o'clock, and then lunch a couple of hours early or a couple of hours late. No. Sleeping time. Sometimes you go to bed 10 o'clock, and the other days you go to bed at 2 o'clock, and then again one day you go to bed at 9 o'clock. You go to bed in the afternoon, take a siesta. If you are indisciplined about your life, that means you are disturbing your biological clock. Biological clock is very precise, and whenever and whatever the biological clock says, we must implement. If we don't, the biological clock is going to go haywire, and we will not be able to enjoy life. We are going to have so many biological problems. Thank you very much for listening. That's all the time we have. See you again next time. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Amen.